Dear learners, welcome to the chapter of Information Systems in Digital Age. In this session, we will discuss about the data, information, knowledge, and wisdom, which are the building blocks for formulating a strategy in an organization. The DIKW model, also known variously as the DIKW hierarchy, wisdom hierarchy, knowledge hierarchy, information hierarchy, and the data pyramid, refers loosely to a class of models for representing purported structural and functional relationships between data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Data. Data is a collection of facts in a raw or unorganized form such as numbers or characters. However, without context, data can mean little. For example, 120-120-12 is just a sequence of numbers without apparent importance. But if we view it in the context of this is a date, we can easily recognize 12th of January, 2012. By adding context and value to the numbers, they now have more meaning. In this way, we have transformed the raw sequence of numbers into information. Information. Information is the next building block of the DIKW model. This is data that has been cleaned of errors and, further processed in a way that makes it easier to measure, visualize, and analyze, for a specific purpose. Depending on this purpose, data processing can involve different operations such as, combining different sets of data, aggregation, and ensuring that the collected data is relevant and accurate, validation, and so on. For example, we can organize our data in a way that exposes relationships between various seemingly disparate and disconnected data points. More specifically, we can analyze the Dow Jones Index performance by creating a graph of data points for a particular period of time, based on the data at each day's closing. By asking relevant questions about who, what, when, where, and so on, we can derive valuable information from the data, and make it more useful for us. But when we get to the question of how, this is what makes the leap from information to knowledge. Knowledge. How is the information, derived from the collected data, relevant to our goals? How are the pieces of this information, connected to other pieces, to add more meaning and value? And, maybe most importantly, how can we apply the information to achieve our goal? When we don't just view information as a description of collected facts, but also understand how to apply it to achieve our goals, we turn it into knowledge. This knowledge is often the edge that enterprises have over their competitors. As we uncover relationships that are not explicitly stated as information, we get deeper insights that take us higher up the DIKW model. But only when we use the knowledge and insights gained from the information to take proactive decisions, we can say that we have reached the final wisdom step of the knowledge pyramid. Wisdom. Wisdom is the top of the DIKW hierarchy, and to get there, we must answer questions such as, why do something? And, what is best? In other words, wisdom is knowledge applied in action. We can also say that, if data and information are like a look back to the past, knowledge and wisdom are associated with what we do now, and what we want to achieve in the future. Our next point of focus in the chapter is characteristics of information when it is used in context of an event. We will discuss what properties an information should possess to be rated as useful information. The way information is used, it is categorized in 3 dimensions. First, time dimension, second, content dimension, and third, form dimension. Each dimension has certain properties of information. The characteristics such as timeliness, frequency, and time period comes under time dimension. Information characteristics such as accuracy, relevance, completeness, conciseness, scope, and performance, which are measure of information efficiency, falls under content dimension, wherein form dimension includes characteristics like clarity, detail, order, presentation, and media. Any information, in the context of event where it is considered for decision-making, should adhere to all the factors. Less the attributes information satisfies, less efficient it is considered. One more aspect about information is that it has varied attributes at various levels of management. How certain attributes of information changes while it traverses different levels of management is discussed here. The range of data used at lower level is narrow, generally limited to the department, wherein the same is wider at the top level where information is spread across departments and is enterprise-wide. In terms of time span, information is used for a shorter period of time at the lower levels whereas its utility is for long durations at top. The information at lower level is generally detailed wherein reports get summarized when information reaches the top. Since the higher level management is indulged in long-term planning, the information which they consider while planning is both internal and external to the organization wherein the lower level of management generally deals with internal information as their planning is for short term. Also, the information is used for managing daily operations at lower level whereas the purpose of information at the higher level is for long-term decision-making. Since the information at the top level comes from varied sources, internal and external of the organization, they are not uniformly formatted. Hence the information at the higher level is unstructured wherein at lower level, it is structured as the organized information flows from top as instructions or policy. Moving ahead, the next point of discussion is that how information is helpful in formulating the strategies for an organization. This discussion also elaborates around strategic information system in an organization. One easy and fast way for enterprises to take the steps from data to information to knowledge and wisdom is to use semantic technologies such as linked data and semantic graph databases. These technologies can create links between disparate and heterogeneous data and infer new knowledge out of existing facts. Armed with this new knowledge, enterprises can climb up the mountain of wisdom and gain a competitive advantage by supporting their business decisions with data-driven analytics. Information is required at each step by strategic management to perform the operations like evaluate and control the business and the industries in which the company is involved, assess its competitors and set goals and strategies to meet all existing and potential competitors and then reassess each strategy regularly to determine how it has been implemented, and whether it has succeeded or needs replacement by a new strategy, new technology, new competitors, a new economic environment, or a new social, financial, or political environment to meet changed circumstances. An organization can strategically information to gain competitive advantage such as reduced cost, sell more units at lower price while providing the quality, raise barriers to market entrance, deter potential entrants and enjoy less competition, establish high switching cost, make conditions infeasible for customers to switch to competitors, create new product and service, sell unique product or service. Enhanced service, better service from competitors is provided. Establish alliances, combine package by different industries. Lock in suppliers, making economically impractical for suppliers to move away. The next important matter of discussion when we refer to information is the issues that are associated with it. Information being a crucial resource, the issues needs to be dealt with caution. The issues with the information include privacy. What information about oneself or one's associations must a person reveal to others, under what conditions and with what safeguards? What things can people keep to themselves and not be forced to reveal to others? Accuracy. Who is responsible for the authenticity, fidelity and accuracy of information? Similarly, who is to be held accountable for errors in information and how is the affected party to be compensated? Ownership. Who owns information? What are the just and fair prices for its exchange? Who owns the channels, especially the airways, through which information is transmitted? How should access to this scarce resource be allocated? Accessibility. What information does a person or an organization have a right or a privilege to obtain, under what conditions, and with what safeguards? One should remember that the information is an important asset to any organization, and information systems are at the core of organizations to make them stand apart. Thanks for your indulgence. Best wishes.